Alright, morning everyone. Might as well go and check the temperature. I'm probably going to stop doing it now because it's not hot anymore. You'll see a screenshot coming up soon, but yeah, barely cracking 20, and the rest of the forecast for the next 10 days, I think, is same, barely cracking 20. Most of the days are 16, 17. We're getting a bit of rain finally. We haven't had any rain. That's why you just seen me do the grass again, treat the grass, just for the dog wee smell. It wasn't too bad. I've hit it pretty hard, probably over the last 7 days. Every probably third day or second day, I've been flushing it with water just because we haven't had any rain. Normally we're getting heaps of rain by now, and it's gone, the smell. But because it's so, we just haven't had any rain. Plus we've just come out of like 10 days straight of 26, 27 degrees, which is just ridiculous for this time of, it's not hot, but for this time of weather, this time of year, it's very unusual. So yeah, I've been hitting it pretty hard. Apparently we're getting about 15 mil of rain on Friday. So hopefully me just blasting this grass with disinfectant, what the odour away that you just seen me use there, that was filmed on the Flip actually, and that's what this video is going to be about. We're going to go through all the drone stuff. Yeah, so the rain that we got coming will just flush that stuff through. So today's Wednesday, so I may do it again on Friday. Just flood it again, not with the odour away. I'll probably do it with the fennel disinfectant and let it sit, and then Friday it can just flush it right down into the base of the grass, and then that's it. I won't have to do it again until winter's over. So hopefully, we'll see. Depends what weather we got coming. But anyway, so yeah, what you saw there was just filmed on the Flip. I've got the Flip and the Neo here, so we'll go through both of them. I'll do them separately because otherwise it's going to get a bit confusing. We'll probably do the Neo first. Whoa, hang on a tick. Yeah, we'll probably do the Neo first, seeing as though that is the most it's the most affordable. I wouldn't say it's cheap. You definitely can get cheaper drones, but as far as DJI goes, it's the cheapest drone they sell. It works really good. I would definitely recommend, even if you had a budget of $200 or $300, you can buy the Flip for $300. Just the drone. It costs more if you get it with a controller, and it costs more if you get the setup I've got with the goggles. Obviously the goggles and the goggles are probably more expensive than the drone actually. So we'll have a look in here. So that is my setup. Yeah, so that's my setup. So very easy. So you can see the goggles, how big the goggles are compared to the actual drone. This is nothing, and you can literally just bring that with you and use it just like that. You don't need any controllers, you don't need anything. So that's why I'm saying it's the cheapest drone, even though the whole kit together is about $800 with the goggles and the controller, 3 batteries, charger. You can buy just the drone for $300 exactly as it stands there, except for this bumper and ND filters. ND filters, I'll get into them later. If you're into the FPV flying, if I've got a battery, we'll quickly take it around the house. I can't remember if any of these are charged up. Actually, I think 2 of them are, because I only used 1 battery. So that's the charger. We might as well talk about that now. So you can literally put all 3 batteries in at once. That's if you buy the Fly More combo. Otherwise you can not buy the Fly More combo, but you won't get this charger or the 2 extra batteries. You press that button and there we go. So that one's half full, and these ones are full. So we'll whack a full one in. I label my batteries. I used to fly drones for work, so everything was labelled and we had to log how many hours we had on each battery. I just got in that habit. I find it quite good because then you know if a battery these are meant to last about 12, 14 minutes, something like that. But then if you consistently getting 7 minutes out of one battery, at least you can say, well, this battery's on its way out, because it says number 2 on there, and that's the battery that I only get 7 minutes out of, so you know to replace it. So yeah, we'll keep that one because it's full. To charging, it's probably not a good example, but see, this charger here is a 65 watt charger, so that's the minimum that you need to be able to charge all 3 batteries at once. You can plug it into a normal USB port. You're only going to charge 1 battery at a time. Like I said, 2 of those batteries are charged, so it's thinking about it, and this one will start flashing, I think. Let's have a look. There it goes, and you can see by how fast it's flashing, so might as well take that out. You can see by how fast that is flashing between lighting up that it's fast charging. If all 3 of these were flat, all 3 of them would be flashing at that speed, and you'll charge all 3 batteries in about 45-50 minutes, something like that. But if you were to plug this to a non-65 watt charger, just a regular USB output, it will be slower than that. So that is that's the thing with that. So definitely worth getting one of them. For charging, I've used it a couple times. I've got one of these. You can't buy these anymore. It's the King's brand battery charger. Well, it's not a battery charger. It's a portable 15 amp hour, says here. So it's a 15 amp hour at 14.4 volts. So it's 216 watt hours. If you can see that with the dodgy focus on this camera. These were on special when I bought it, and then 2 weeks later they brought out a whole new range, and that's why I got it for 99 bucks. But you can't buy the 15 amp one anymore. They do a 12, 24 and a 36, I think. My mate just bought the 36 amp hour one because it has 100 watt charging. This one only has 65, I think. So it's got 5 volt at 3 amp type C there, and 5 volt at 2.5 amp there. And then it's got solar input, or that's a charger input there. And then a 12 volt cigarette lighter, which I actually got this one. So I got one of these the other day, and it's got 100 watt type C. So that way you can bung that in there and charge all 3 of these batteries at once, or the flip batteries. The flip works a little bit different. I'll get into that. It does charge multiple batteries at the same time, but it does something a little bit different, so I'll get into that later. But yeah, that's my setup for charging in the field. So you can use just that, or all 3. Obviously, if you're using all 3 at once, you're not getting 100 watts out of one. It's one or the other. But you can use 100 watts out of that, and then plug into that and get 3 amps out of that. So that's it. It's a good size. That actually runs my fridge. That's why I bought it, is to run a fridge, and it's 50 something litre fridge. It'll run it for 6-7 hours. So that's really good. I've also got a smaller fridge, 20 litre, 30 can, something like that, and that'll run it for about 10 hours. So if you're going to someone's house for dinner or whatever, you want to bring some drinks with you. Because what happens, this is what happens at my place anyway. I'm a bit lucky because I got a proper drinks fridge. But normally that's full if I'm having people around. But sometimes people bring their own drinks, and then my missus has cooked up a storm, desserts, all sorts of stuff. So our fridge is chockers, and then you get like four people or 4 groups of people come over. Salad. We had Christmas here, and this is exactly what happened at Christmas. It was hot too, so stuff had to go in the fridge. So yeah, bring a salad. Some of them bought their own drinks. One of them bought a cake, things like that. The fridge was already full, and now we're trying to rearrange it to fit everyone else's stuff in there. So this actually works quite well, the 52 litre fridge. Just put it outside, keep it running. I don't run it, if I'm here, like running it off my house, it runs off plug-in power. But yeah, you just put all their drinks in that fridge. It was empty, and then by the end of after everyone's rocked up, the fridge is full, and no one has to go inside and dick with your fridge. So it works well, and that's why I like having my own fridge like that. Is same vice versa. We go to my old man's house or something, and I'm bringing some drinks, or the missus wants to bring a dessert or something like that. I know their fridge is going to be full because mum's been cooking, whatever. So we just rock up with that. It runs off the battery. If I'm leaving the house, I'll bring the battery. and it's running in the car. It runs when we get there. I think we used it at Easter because we went Easter somewhere, and we had a whole heap of chocolate for the kids and stuff like that. And yeah, just put it all in there. It was hot on Easter too, so nothing melts. It's in the car. I think we just met up at a park somewhere around the corner. We had our drinks in there. We had all the chocolates that we were giving everyone. And yeah, everyone's flipping out that we're giving them the chocolates and they're all cold from the fridge. So yeah, it works well. So that's the only reason I got this this battery, but it does serve two purposes, which is good. So yeah, that's that. So we'll put this. If I take one drone, I'll take both drones. So it doesn't matter where. I've only got one of these, so it's here if I need it. Goggles. Oh, so that's the controller. You can use the controller from the Flip, which I'll show you later, which is your traditional stick controller. I like using this for the Neo, for the little one. It's literally a Scalextric controller, so it's acceleration, stop, brake, or revert. So if you're accelerating and you think you're going to hit something, you just let it go and it brakes, and that's stop. And then if you want to fly backwards, that's reverse, pull it backwards. I don't use any other button apart from record, which is like perfect spot to press that. That's your on button for this remote. Record if you want to do a recording. I think to turn it on is press and hold and then double tap, and it tells you on the screen through the goggles to turn the motors on. So that's the only button you really need. This button can adjust settings. I think you can do settings, but this turns into like a pointer. If you want to change any settings while you're flying, the drone will just stop and hover. You press that, and then a pointer comes up, and this is like a mouse controlling your goggles. So yeah, pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, that's that. Goggles, I've been using this to wrap around that, or to put into the goggles like that, so it doesn't get scratched, because I have got one scratch. I bought this with me on my bike, and this must have been rubbing on the lens, and it's got a tiny little scratch on the lens, so a bit annoying. But yeah, just use a rag and that'll fix that problem. The battery's in here. That goes on the back of your head. And yeah, these are the cheaper goggles. So it's literally got one screen at the back here, and then you look through some lenses which converge the image, makes it look nice, very natural. It's got fans built in which you can turn on and off. They're not on from default. You got to turn them on, so if you're starting to get a bit of fog or whatever on a humid day, you can turn them on. There is zero light leak around the edges. You can use it right in direct sun, and you'd think you're in a dark room. It's got all these like little flaps and stuff to cover. I wear glasses, prescription glasses. I can fit in here, no worries, and I can also use my sunnies, which are a lot bigger than my prescription glasses, and I can use them. And yeah, with the fans, it's really good. Unfortunately, I can't really show you what it is to see through here. I can. So this has a SD card in it as well, so it'll record what I see, but I can't really explain the feeling of it, I suppose, looking through the goggles. But I'll put some, when I fly the Neo, I'll put some screenshots up, or a video. So yeah, if you pull the video off this SD card, it's going to have all the telemetry, exactly what I see through here. If you pull, so this doesn't have an SD card, this has just got 21 gigs or something like that of onboard storage, and that's it. If you're pulling the video off that, you get absolutely no telemetry at all. It's just the video. So the clean video is on the drone, and the telemetry video, you'll see it on here. I don't normally flip these up. It's going to get like a good kilometre range without the antennas flipped up. But yeah, if you want to go further, I don't know why you would, because the drone, it's not that type of drone to do long distance missions. So anyway, we'll go and fly this. I was going to I should probably turn this off. I was going to test the dBs. I don't think that's important. They're not that loud. This is more of an annoying sound, like a group of bees, than loud, that's for sure. You got a gimbal cover like that. So that comes off. Apparently you can fly with it on. I don't know why you would. But you can see there I've got a ND filter on it, which is very dirty at the moment. So we'll clean that. So ND filter, it's an ND8 at the moment. I'll change it because that's for almost no sun. So all I've got I've actually got 2 sets of ND filters for this because I had a crash and lost one, probably broke it. But yeah, it's got an ND 16 and a 64. I broke the 8, lost the 32. So, oh no, the 8, no, sorry. So the 8's out of this set. So I've got a different set in here. So I've been using these ones. These are pretty cool. So literally to take them off, it's you got to watch you don't lose it because there's got a bit of spring in it, but it just clips at the back there. So ND8 will go in there, and then might as well put an ND64 on because it's quite bright today with no cloud. So we'll put the big one on. So all these do is slow the shutter speed down on the drone. That's all they do. They're like, I suppose they're like wearing sunglasses. And because you're slowing the shutter speed down, you get motion blur. That's all it is. There's no real benefit. There is a benefit to photos, but it's mainly for video to slow that shutter speed down and give you motion blur. The only benefit you can get from photos is the sky looks a bit nicer. So, you know, even though it's a blue sky, without the ND filter, you take a photo or video, it looks white. It's all washed out white because it's so bright. This will tone it down and it'll actually look blue, like a nice dark blue. So that's the only reason there. So yeah, that's all I've got is a couple choices of ND filters, and then really just some cable, like different some spare props. That's all that is, and a little tiny screwdriver that actually comes with the drone. DJI give you, you know, if you got to change props or whatever. I've got different props on this, so this has got master air screw props. I've only flown it once. Half a battery, that's what you're seeing there, that half a battery, that's all I've had on these new props. I can't really comment on them. They do sound a little bit quieter, or not as annoying pitch noise, so that's good, I suppose. But yeah, flight time and all that and performance, I couldn't tell you because I haven't flown it long enough. So that's it, click her in. I won't show you any of the, so that's the on and off button, and then this button is for the flight modes that it has if you're going to fly it without a controller. So there's 3 options for this. Flight by itself, like that, you can do that. So you literally turn it on, hit this button, and you pick one of 6 flight modes here. Droney, rocket, tripod, that kind of stuff. The camera is pretty restrictive on this because it's so small and so cheap. It's really only good for FPV, flying FPV, I find. I wouldn't use it. That's why I bought the Flip, because the Flip's got a way better camera for doing that stuff. So yeah, I don't really use it standalone. Option 2 is connect your phone through the DJI Fly app. Turn that on first, turn this on, and then it'll say DJI Neo detected. Do you want to connect to it? You connect to it. Then you can fly it using your phone. I'll show you on the Flip. It's better on the Flip. With joysticks on your phone. The only thing is you can't go that far. You can only go as far as this will talk Wi-Fi. It talks Wi-Fi to your phone or Bluetooth, so you can only go as far as that. And people have been having flyaways. Like when I say flyaway, I mean this is connected to your phone. All of a sudden it hangs a right and just keeps going till it runs out of battery. You've got no control over it. Another thing I don't really like using my phone, which is saying that that's how I got that video for the Flip just now doing the grass. I just connected it with my phone. You would have seen me fly it back to me with using the phone. That's fine if you're close quarters, but if you're connected to your phone and you go and fly over water, then all of a sudden this loses range with Bluetooth. It'll just sit there and hover, and if you're over water, obviously you can't get any closer. And if it's blowing away, it's only getting further and further away, and you'll never get lock, and it'll just, when it wants to land, it'll just land into the water, unless you've got it configured to come back to home. So you've got to be careful with that. I've never used the controller out of the Flip to control this. Not necessary, because I've got the Flip, and the Flip's got a way better camera. But anyway, we'll do a little footage with this, and that way you can see what I see through the goggles with all the telemetry. I'll probably go through, I'll pause the video when I'm editing, and I'll go and explain what each thing is around. And if I remember, I'll try and pause it in flight using the orange button there, and show you what the mouse pointer looks like. So yeah, all right, let's go and fly that. So you got 3 things to turn on. Press again, that's on. Same with, this is a bit dodgy, so press and hold. Didn't do it, or maybe it takes a bit longer. Yeah, let's have a look. No, it's not on. It makes a noise. Nope. I always have trouble with this. I don't know if there's something wrong with it, or it's just a bit funny to turn on, but I'll leave it real time so you can see the struggle. But this happens every time. There we go. Press, let it light up, and hold it. Press and hold again. Yep, that's booting up. That's talk. So that beep means that this is talking to this. So what happens is this controller doesn't talk to this, from my understanding. This talks to this, to your goggles, and then sends your controller information to the Neo. It doesn't. It's not like this talks to this and then this talks to that. It's a two-way communication between the goggles and the Neo. Not this doesn't. This only talks to the goggles. This doesn't talk to this. My understanding. I think that's what it is. All right. Can't guarantee what the dogs are going to do. So now to turn this on, it's the same. Press and hold, and you'll see it, the lights boot up like that. Goggles on. Okay. So I have I've formatted the SD card in the goggles, and I've formatted the memory in the drone. So make sure surroundings area is safe. Oh, maybe if I start recording, so press that button. There we go. So we're recording. So you can see my pointer now. So if I just hit home point updated, yep. So double click on that, says motor starting, and then press and hold. And there we go. So the dogs. So there you go. So if I go over here, the dogs won't be a problem. So just checking, I'm definitely recording. I'm not going to fly like I normally fly, because if I do crash, I'm going to have to go and get it. But yeah, pretty cool. I'm actually going to put my, so you'll see the red down the bottom of the screen. That is the transmission is not that good. I'm actually standing under my shed veranda, so that's got a tin roof on it, so that's why that's probably not the best. But if we just come back, you can see it's going fairly slow. I'm maxed out, but I am not in sports mode. I'm only in normal mode, so it does go faster than that. But there is a breeze. So, but pretty cool. Well, yeah, I was just surfing the breeze just then, actually, off the roof. Actually, these guys, I'll probably go with the flip, actually. But see this blue thing on top of this light? I don't know what it is. Someone come and changed it the other day. I'm wondering if it's a light sensor. So if we just, so I don't know if you can. I should make sure that you can see my hand. Yeah. So I'll try and sync up the videos. Shouldn't be a drama. I've got to remember to clap, but you can see what I'm doing there. But yeah. I don't know what it is. It was black before, now it's blue. They've come and changed it. But you can see how little input I have to put to my hand to make it do what I want to do. So pretty cool. Alright, so yeah, so I'll mix in some video from the drone. That way you can see that H there, that is constantly moving. That's me, that's the home. So if I go a bit higher up over here, is that no, so you can see that H there, that's me. So if I get disorientated, lost, whatever, I can just look for that H. There it is, and that's me in there. So pretty cool. But you'll see the difference in footage quality from, we'll go up nice and high. I've got enough battery, so there's 77% battery there. And you can see me tilting it. There we go. Nice view of the suburb. Alright, so we'll bring it back in. The dogs are going to lose it, but anyway. And I may even go and catch it so that way it doesn't fly under this tin roof and lose GPS and go a bit wonky. So I'll just go and meet it up out in the out at the grass there. Ah, that's alright. Let's bring it back. There we go. So very cool. So yeah, if you've never flown, actually, that'll help me sync the footage from that to that. If you've never flown drones before, don't let it be intimidating, because it's really easy. The hardest bit is getting everything. Well, it's not even that hard, but setting it up is the hardest bit, and it's not even that hard. It's so spelt out perfectly for you on the app there. It is really. I mean, I've done it a few times, and I do it without even reading the instructions anymore. It's very, very easy. That's probably my 4th DJI drone, I think. Yeah. But there's 3-4 years between me setting. It's not like I had 4 within a year. Yeah, I'm talking 4 over probably 10 years. The first Mavic was my first drone, so whenever that came out, divide them by 3 or 4, and that's how many I've had. But yeah, it's not hard, and you can see there, if you get in trouble, you just literally take your finger off the sticks or the throttle, and it'll just hover. You find out, get your bearings, group your thoughts, whatever you need to do, and then just come back slowly. You can put this in. I don't think it's got a super. Oh, it does. You can put it in beginner mode, and even if you go flat stick, the thing's doing not even walking pace. So you can spend a week with that. Spend 4. But I reckon I've given this to people that have never ever flown a remote control plane, helicopter, or anything, and using this controller, which I think is harder to learn on than the stick controller, but maybe it's easier. I don't know. Within 3 minutes, 4 minutes, they telling me to take it out of beginner mode, and they're in normal mode and not even crashing it. So I've done it a few times to like a few different people. So it is super easy. I reckon if you had 3 batteries, by the end of by the 4th battery, you'll be doing like underneath chairs, like flying through that, or the bottom one, flying in between trees. Yeah, you'll be doing all sorts of stuff. Really good. I got Care Refresh for that, so if you do smash it, you can get a new one for a minimal price. I think it's like $40. They send you a brand new one, whether it's your fault or not. So yeah, so that's really good, because I forgot to stop recording the drone and that, and I hope it was. I may have set that to not record, but maybe I did. Nah, I think it is. The reason I'm thinking that is because I'm like, well, I'll never use that footage, but if this does fly away, at least you have that as proof to say, yeah, look, why would I do that? Like it's a backup video copy. Plus it has all the telemetry built in, so they can see that it loses signal, whatever. Yeah, so that's all I can say about that. So yeah, really easy. So just turn everything off is the same way. So press and hold, that turns off. And then, yeah, so what I was going to say, I forgot to press stop record. So even if you're still recording, go and turn it off. It stops recording, stores it, and then turns the drone off. So very easy. Can't lose any data. And then same with this, so press and hold, and that turns off. They're all slightly between the press and hold, so that time, and then how long you actually have to hold it for to either turn it off or turn it on is different between each. You'd think they'd make it the same, and I think that's why I'm having trouble with that, because it's a bit longer. It's the longest out of all three of them, so yeah. But anyway, I'll just flick the video off for a minute. I'll put this away, and I'll get the flip, and we'll get the flip out, and I'll show you that one. Okay, so, and that's the case for the flip. A lot more simpler because you don't have goggles, and only one battery. I didn't get the Flymore combo with this one. Each battery is 31 minutes. And I've got 2 batteries. I don't need to be in the air any longer than that. So yeah, that was the main reason for not getting. Plus, I don't like the charger that it came with because it didn't charge 2 batteries at once. So this one does. So all you do is click. This is not an official DJI charger. They only make the one charger for this. But you can see there, so you've got 1 and 1 flashing. So that's like 30%, I think, 35%. If it had 2 solid and 2 off, it'll be 50%. I didn't even see what this one was. I think this one's full. Oh, okay, so it's got 3 and 1 flashing, so it's like 75%. So that's the one we will use for our flight today, and it's literally just click in, done. This one has an SD card, so I've got a 128 I think in there, or 256, something like that. 128. It's got to be a fast card as well, because it does 4K 60 frames a second. I only do 4K 30, but you need a decent card. This has the same, the gimbal protector, that way this doesn't get damaged in transport. I think I might have been out of view, but that's where the SD card goes in there. So we're good, and I've got a ND32 on there at the moment. I should have a hidden in here, so just give that a clean. We'll just leave the 32 on there. It's no big deal. Like I said, it's depends on your sunlight and all that. So yeah, just leave all that in there. This is super simple. So it's literally, I won't put my phone in there just yet, but your phone clicks into that. Because what I'll do is I'll fly it without the phone first. Same deal. I've just got some cables, screwdriver, a couple cables. I've got one USB-A to USB-C. So USB-C to USB-C. So that way you can transfer from the drone to your phone. If you want to pull some photos off straight away in the field, you can do that. Or I've got USB-A to USB-C or you can use that cable for charging as well. Same with that cable, you can use it for charging. So you can see I haven't even unwrapped them because I've got so many cables hanging around in various spots. Obviously a different shape ND filter to what's with the Neo. They're not interchangeable with any drone. They're made specific for every drone. Only deal with this one is it has an MCUV circular polarized CPL filter, and then it's got an 8, 16, 32s on there, and then I've got a 64 as well, and I've got in the mail coming a 128 and a 256. I've never had an ND filter that high. This camera is really good, so I want to see what those high ND filters can do. I think it makes your water look nicer and that kind of gear, so we'll just leave the 32 on there, mainly because I can't be bothered changing it, but today would be really good with the 64. Controller's super simple to use. Doesn't have any buttons at the back. My old one if you get a Mini 4, it has a scroll and buttons at the back. This doesn't, but it has a scroll here, so that's for your gimbal, so you can lower the camera. You can adjust how fast this happens as well, so you get it super smooth. Record and take photo depending on if you're in video mode or photo mode. This button swaps between photo mode and video mode. Function, you can set it to do about 4 or 5 different things, double tap or single tap. So you can set it to do 2 things at once, whether you single tap or double tap it. I think I've only got it set up to go straight forward with the camera, and then you press it and it goes straight down to 90 and then straight back to 180. So that's what I've got it set up for. Home, So if you're flying, you can't be bothered flying it back to you, then you just press and hold this and it'll just fly its way back to you by itself and land. You got cine mode, which is the C, normal and sport. Sport's ultra fast, normal's in the middle. Cine mode is very slow for doing nice slow pans and no abrupt movements. You can configure the speed and everything for each of those modes, and then the same deal. So I'm almost ready to charge this up. So yeah, press and hold to turn that on. This thing you can do press and hold if you want to. Otherwise, it's unfold it and it'll just turn on by itself. And this is the same as a Neo. You can fly that with no controller. You can fly it with this and your phone, which I'll show you. And then you can fly it with that. So if you fly it with nothing, it'll just follow you or do whatever you're telling it to do. So it has a button here, and then all the modes come up in this tinted window bit here. Obviously the range is not an issue then, because it's doing is a pre-programmed flight. The only thing is you got to make sure that there's no trees and stuff around, because you're going to crash into the tree. It has obstacle avoidance, but only if it's going forwards. Doesn't have side. If you want side and back and all that, then you got to get the Mini 4, and that's more expensive than this, but it's got the same camera. I'm not into that stuff anyway, so it's all good. I'll connect it to my phone now so you can see it with the app. It's going to be the same as a Neo. You can just use your phone if you want to, so we'll go and muck around with that. And then I'll connect it to the controller and we'll do a nice flight. So I'll put this in the shade. So yeah, turn your phone on first. So yeah, DJI Fly, let that boot up. Anytime it needs a firmware update, it'll come up here and tell you that it needs a firmware update. I actually flew it on the weekend. Interesting story, it's never happened to me before, and we were very close to the airport, to Perth Airport. We weren't next to it enough to go, no, you cannot fly at all. But it came up with a warning here, and it said, you're pretty close. Here's a code, type it into your phone. We want your phone number. We've got all your details, because you need to put all your details in on this. And you take all responsibility that's just so that they know that you're flying near an airport. I adjusted everything so I could only go 50 meters high anyway. And we only went maybe 100 meters away from where we were flying as well. That's all we needed to do. So yeah, no big issue. But anyway, that's the app. So yeah, very safe. You can't really get in trouble with it. You unfold it front first, rears. It'll turn on. So it'll turn on. It'll probably tell you. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, but there's a green thing there saying that it's in spotlight mode. I'm not worried about that. We're going to use this anyway. So it says Wi-Fi device, DJI connected. So we'll connect to that. Like that. And there's no portrait mode. It's only in portrait mode, not landscape. So bit crap, it doesn't matter. So you can choose all your things from there, your modes. I just want to go manual control, so that way it'll give me the joysticks. So yeah, so if we start recording, so yeah, we're recording. So if we go take off, press and hold like that, and then forward. I've got to go up. So like that, and then rotate. It's going to be a quick flight because I can't be bothered listening to the dog. You can see there it's got sensors, so downward, it's 2 meters high at the moment. Very easy, and that's as fast as it moves, so you can't really get in trouble with it. Boys, hey, that's enough. Stop. So it's facing me, and then we'll come back. And if you see here, I'll try and run it into the shed. Boys, that's enough. Dexter. So I'll try and run it into the shed, and you'll see that it's impossible. So you go forward. Why is it not going forward? I think it... So I'm holding forward. It senses that there's a wall there and it won't let you go, even though I keep pushing forward. So really good for yeah, obstacle avoidance from the front only. I can't remember if they said it's radar, lidar, I can't remember, or visual, I can't remember, but it's apparently it avoids sticks and branches and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, really good. So we'll save that video and I'll try and embed that into the main video as best I can. So now we'll go backwards. I think it's best to turn this off because it's still connected to Wi-Fi and I want to use the remote. So we'll turn it off, which is this one. So that's turning off. And then I'll go and get the control. Well, we can do that here. So for this, it's I'll probably want to turn this off as well. So it's you've got to use the, so it comes with a cable like that. It's got 2 slots, obviously, to keep your cable, so it's in here. The one on the left, as you're looking at the controller, the one on the left is a dummy. It's just a slot for this to fit into. It's plastic. There's nothing in there. You have to leave the right one plugged in. That's the actual port, USB port. So you just go like that, kind of center it. I remember with my old phone there was a button right where one of these little tabs is. So you had to have it off center, but this phone works out pretty good. Plug in your thing and then turn that on. Then your phone, once you unlock it, knows that it's connected to a DJI thing, so it wants to just automatically open up DJI Fly. You can take them off and store them here. I don't know if I said that before, but for travel, if you want to store it flat and not break them. So really good. This is the most basic controller they make. They make another one with a screen. It's a much better controller, but it boosts the price of the Flip a fair bit. Yeah, so that's why I didn't get it. So it's not connected because I haven't turned that on. So I'll leave that there so you can see it. We'll turn this on. Once you turn that on, this will all start up, automatic. There you go. So it recognises that it's a Flip. Everything turns on, and you're good to go. I've got it on -1, so we'll put it on 0. So obviously, if you go +1, you can see the camera starting to change and get a bit more lighter. That's because I've got quite a dark ND filter on it. I'll leave it at 0. That's only dark because it's looking at a dark fence. So we'll go 0. 0, yeah, 0 is fine. Like that. So it says takeoff permitted, which means it has I don't know how, because I'm under a tin roof, but it's got enough GPS satellites to say I'm happy. I know where home is. If something goes wrong, I'm coming back here. I don't think you can force it to take off without a home point, but yeah, it has to know where it is. Storage, you can format the SD card. I won't. I've still got 2 hours and 26 minutes of storage. This has got quite a large card in it, so I won't. So start recording. So that clap is on both cameras. stop. So I'll go straight up. That way we don't have to listen to the dogs. So apart from doing a screen record through my phone, you won't see any of what I'm seeing right now. So yeah, it's not the same as the Neo. So I'm only 71 meters high at the moment. I'll go up to the, I think I got it capped at 90. Yeah, there we go. So I'm at 89 meters and it says max altitude reach. So it won't, even if you're not paying attention, it won't let you go any higher than what you've set it to. So I won't go too far because there's no point. There's nothing to see. You can see how flat Perth is. Look at that. It's pretty bad. There's the city. I don't think you can zoom. Oh yes, okay. So there's a city. That's how far away I am from the city. Fair distance. In photo mode, you can't zoom for some reason. Only in video mode. That's kind of Whiteman Park. So when I go for a scoot round or a ride around Whiteman Park, that's kind of that area there. That is some satellite place that they can steer satellites in space from. So they can steer. I think it is. I did a job there once when I was a surveyor, and that's what they told me. So that's what I'm telling you. Apparently, there is the job that we did there. You probably can't see it, or is it that bit there? No, I think it's this bit that's in the middle of the screen at the moment, and it's for marine, for ships. For some reason, even though we're so far, like the coast is this way, they use. The coast is that way. I don't know if you probably can't see water unless that's water, but I doubt it. Yeah, they use it to navigate or communicate with ships. So we'll go back to normal zoom. I can hear it, so it's 90 meters away from me, and I can still hear it. So yeah, it's not the quietest thing in the world, but it's all good. And yeah, it's not hard to control, and like I said, if you get in trouble, take your hands off the sticks. It'll just sit there. You can kind of see I'm above the next door neighbour's house at the moment, so if I fly back this way, and I'll just put it back above my house, and then you click that again, and then press my function button, and boom, it should just go straight down. There's my joint there. You can actually see the home point as well. It's over there now because so the home point is right in the middle of my grass there where I took off from, and yeah, very easy. I won't show any of the modes. So yeah, if you hit function, it'll go down, and hit function again, it'll go back up. I won't show any other different modes because I don't want to stop recording. But yeah, it's not hard. It's so easy. If that's the thing putting you off it, definitely don't let it put you off. It's so easy. I'm not even touching it. And then, okay, I'll leave that there, and it'll come back to home. So let's go for a spin. We'll put it in sports mode and get it cranked up. So that's doing 10, 11, 12 meters a second, so pretty fast. So we'll go right over, somewhere around. So right now it's 88 meters high, and it's 137 meters away from me, away from where it took off from. So it's facing totally the wrong way. Actually, I think I'm actually no, I don't know. I thought I was above my mate's house, but I'm not. So let me go get something to prop that up, so you guys can see it, because I'm going to go on the grass and catch it. So to bring it back home automatically, you press home button. So obviously I don't want it to land where it is, because it's going to land at someone's house. I want it to return to home. So press and hold, and there she comes. So I'll let you guys look at that. Actually, no, you probably want to see it come back. So you can... You can see on the screen it has a green thing to follow. It knows exactly how to come back. So I'll stay here until it's almost here, and then I'll tilt the camera up. So it has like an airway, like a 3D route on how to get back home. I wonder if I can still play. Yeah, there you go. So you can see it. Hopefully you can. He's right on top now, so there's just a cone to come straight down. And then, yeah, so it's coming down. It comes down really like 3 meters a second. It's coming down at the moment. So I'll go and catch it and see if you can still see the screen. Stop. So yeah, gentle as, and it's good. It's got these. You can't get your finger. Well, you can poke your finger through, but if your hand's flat, it's like feeding a horse, I suppose. Keep your hand flat, and there's no way of getting your fingers caught in there. So double tap that. Double tap that. That was recording, so hopefully that recorded. It should do. I'm pretty sure it's going to have the same thing as a Neo. So all good. I don't know if you could hear the kids there, but they must be home for some reason. I don't think it's school holidays, I can't remember. And they were giving a commentary as well. But anyway, that's it. It's really easy. And then actually I didn't even need to turn that off. So you literally fold the rears in, fold that in, and it'll turn off by itself. And then we'll put it back in here. So that way. That's it, clicks in, folds in. I'll get the controller. Fold that around. So in like that. Fold that in, fold that in. And that's it. And then to take the data off the computer, to take your videos off this, it's literally USB-C to your computer, drag and drop files, and that's it. You don't need any special programs, nothing. Yeah, you don't need any programs extra. Like I said, if it wants an update, it'll tell you here the first time you. So what I normally do, because obviously you've got internet wherever you go. But if you're going to go somewhere and fly, you don't want to be mucking around for 5-10 minutes updating the thing. So I normally just turn it on before I leave home, like a day or two before you think you're going to use it. Obviously, you know, you're going to use it without thinking about it one day. But you can do your updates at home using Wi-Fi. It's a lot quicker. But saying that, the other day I used it, there was a no-fly database update. It just does it all. You can actually download it to your phone and say, no, well, I'll upload it later. I don't want to do it now because I'm out flying. So you can pause it. You don't have to do it. But I always try and keep it as up to date as possible. And yeah, it works well that way. I think I want to bring that back inside. I only brought that out to show you about the charger and how fast it is. So, oh yeah, I was going to tell you, so this charger here for the Flip, so it doesn't charge. Where is it? I've lost it already. Oh, there it is. So what it does is, if I was to put this battery in there now, plus I don't like storing the batteries fully charged either, so that was good to have a little bit of a fly. So if you have a look here, so that's got 1 and 1 flashing, and this one had 2 and 1 flashing. So this one's almost full. So what this does, it'll charge this battery first until it reaches the same as this battery, and then it'll charge both batteries together. So they'll be finished together, which is good. I suppose that's okay because yeah, it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day you're going to have two 2 batteries finish at the same time and they're fully charged, you got another hour of flight time. So it's no biggie. The only other way you can not make it, so say you only wanted to have one more flight and this one's almost full, just disconnect that one, plug your charger in, and it'll charge only, well, it can only charge one because you've not connected this one, and it'll charge that one in 20 minutes, if that, because it's almost full. And then go and fly with that, and then plug your other flat one in. So that's a cool thing. That's why, and the reason I like this one, I don't know, the DJI one I don't think does that. It'll just charge, I think the DJI from stock, the stock one, it'll charge this one first because it was almost full. So whichever one has the most power, it'll charge that first and then it'll charge the next one. I think if you read these instructions, this can do it. You can put it in that mode. I'm not going to do it because that suits me, how this charges both at the same time. And then if you want to force charge one, then you just disconnect one. You know, it's no big deal. The DJI one, the reason I didn't like it is it stacks up like that. And it had a divider, so the charger, even with no batteries, is quite high, and I wouldn't be able to fit it in my case here. So that's the reason I got I didn't get the Fly More combo, is because I didn't like the charger that it was coming with. So that's why I like this one, because with nothing in it, it'll fit in the case lid there. And it also, you don't have to take these sticks off to fit it, to close it. If I was going to put this in a suitcase or a bag or something, I probably would take these off, because this might get crushed, but I don't really stack anything on top of this heavy enough to damage it. So all good. But anyway, that's the rundown on the DJI stuff. It's ultra simple. Don't be fooled. My mate got fooled twice. He knew what he was buying, but it looked exactly like a Neo. Plus years ago, he bought one that looked exactly like a Mini, AliExpress, like $60. And he got angry at it because it didn't do what this does. It's like, what did you expect for $60? It's just a copy. They copy the frame and then just put cheap electronics in it, and the camera is rubbish compared to them. It's even worse than what's on the Neo. So yeah, if you're thinking about getting one and you want to do it on the cheap, I would not recommend it. You'll either crash it, you won't be happy with the camera quality. The plastic quality is going to be really, really good. You touch that plastic, it's very strong, but it's malleable. I've crashed my Neo so many into bricks and trees, and it's fallen from fairly high heights. And it's not even scratched. The material they use is next level. So I know they're expensive. There's a reason they're expensive, and I'd rather spend money and have the best quality thing. Obviously there's better drones than a Neo, but as far as a Neo goes, it's probably the most expensive drone for its size and camera quality. But it just does everything perfectly. Like there is very little chance of you even never, like I would give that to, I gave this to my 15-year-old niece and nephew. No, sorry, not the Flip, the Neo. And within 5 minutes they were running it through the slide at the park. They were going underneath things, round trees. And I was like, you're not going to hit, I told them, if you're going to get in trouble, just take your fingers off it, it'll stop. And then, get yourself back together and then come back. And they didn't even crash it. And I wasn't even worried that if they did crash it, it was only in slow mode. They're not going to damage it. So I wouldn't do that to any other drone really, because I just wouldn't trust the smarts in it to stop it from something happening. So yeah, really good. Yeah, but definitely don't try and cheap out. I've had cheap drones. I've had full manual drones. I've had everything, and then I got onto these, and I wouldn't buy anything but DJI at the moment. It's a bit tricky to get the Fly app on your phone because with security, and DJI is a Chinese company, and Apple and Google, obviously being American, they don't like that kind of stuff. So it's not on the Play Store or anything like that. You've got to kind of backdoor load it, force it. There's a secret or hidden button. So there's plenty of, I won't show you how to do it. There's plenty of videos on YouTube. That's all I did. I couldn't find it. Even after downloading it from DJI, you can download the .apk file for the app, it still wouldn't let me load. If you watch a video, there's a button there. You click it. It doesn't look like a button. It just says this is a security breach or something. Install anyway, but it doesn't look like a button. But you click the text and it is a button. So yeah. So yeah. So that's all I can say about it. Yeah, easy to set up, easy to use. The hardest thing's probably editing the videos if you're going to use the videos and stuff. If you purely want to do it for FPV and feel like what it feels like for flying, get the Neo. If you want to use it for any type of video or pictures, don't think you're going to buy the Neo for that price. Well, actually, the Neo with the goggles and everything's more expensive than the Flip. I think the Flip's $690, $680, something like that, for the combo that I've got there with one battery, that controller. The Neo's like 800 and something bucks because you're getting the goggles and that controller and the Neo. But yeah, don't think that you're going to buy the Neo and use that for cinematography, because it ain't going to happen. The camera's just not up to scrub for that. But as far as doing FPV and things like that, really good for that. You'll see the comparison anyway. You would have seen it already. It's totally night and day difference. But anyway, I'll go and edit this video. Hopefully can melt the two kind of, you know, the feed from the goggles, the feed from the Neo. I'll keep this camera on so you can see how I was controlling it and how easy. You don't even, after 5 minutes, you don't even think about it. You just do. It's so easy. It's just second nature, so fast. It's really good. So yeah, all good. No updates. The only thing I've kind of done, you probably did hear about it in the last video, was my Mozzie Vacuum 3000. So that's my version of another one that you can buy from Bunnings. This one's more powerful, quieter. It's got a more powerful fan. It's a lot quieter. It's like 3 times as quiet, and it's got a more powerful UV light on it. I've got it to this stage. It's ultra rough. I'm using the cage out of the one that you buy from Bunnings, only because I wouldn't have a clue how to make my own one. You'd need like a mesh funnel, and I'm not even going to think about that. I'm going to make a different base for it because I'm not happy with this base. But there's enough here. You can see it's rough as, like, I've just roughed out the cuts and everything. I am not going to spend any more time making it look good. Functional, it's functioning. So I'm just going to leave it as is. Make sure it works. If it works, if we get up in the morning and she's got 3 or 4 mozzies in there and we didn't get attacked overnight, then I'll spend more time. I want to route yeah, I want to route all these corners, route this, clean all that up, make a new base, maybe paint it, but maybe stain it and oil it. Not sure yet. Obviously make this light. This is just hot glued on at the moment. I'll make a nice little wooden thing to hide that, make it look really pretty. But I don't want to go. That's taken me 45 minutes to knock that up. I don't want to go spending 3 hours making it look good and then it doesn't work for some reason, or I don't think it's going to be noisy, but yeah, it may not work. So I just don't want to spend any more time on it until it's done. So until I know it works. When I know it works, out comes a router, paint, varnish, stain, oil, whatever. So all good. But anyway, we'll leave it at that. This camera is almost flat, so I think I've said enough. The dogs are sunbathing at the moment. But yeah, definitely opens up a new world, I reckon, the drone. My mate is kind of, I got a mate that was never into remote control planes, photography, nothing like that. Ended up just splashing out and getting an Air 3S, which is like $2,000. Really good camera, big as well. Loves it. Just, he's got cool photos up around his house. He gives them away for birthdays and Christmas and stuff. Gets them printed on canvas and mounted and stuff. Just right into it. Loves it. Really nice photos he takes. The only reason I don't go the Mavic or the Air 3S is they're too heavy. I like to stay with 249 gram, 250 gram and less. You fly under the radar, they're quieter. and so the Mini 4 is under that as well. So it fits into a different category of drones for Australia. I think UK is the same as well. I think a lot of countries have adopted this 249 grams or less rule, and you can pretty much fly the thing anywhere. More than 250, a lot more regulations. So that's why I prefer to stay with those ones, with these ones that I've got. I reckon the new Mini 5 is going to be cool when that comes out. I reckon it may have a 1-inch sensor on it. So yeah, that'll be a really cool thing if it does. I probably won't upgrade. I think for me now this is good enough, and maybe when the Mini 6 comes out I'll sell these two and buy a Mini 5. I never really get the current generation because they are a lot more expensive. I always try and stay 1 or 2 back. And they're good enough. They're really good. So yeah. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. On the horizon, I know of nothing. I think actually no. So my mate fell off his scooter almost 2 weeks ago now, 1.5 weeks ago. We were going to do a redo. He wanted to do a redo and see that ride finished. Or he just wanted to see it through. But I don't think it's going to happen this Friday because you would have seen already. I'll put it on again, but it's raining Friday quite heavily, so we don't take them out in the rain. It's not worth. They're waterproof and everything, but I'm not getting wet just to go out for a ride. It's not worth it. So yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Saturday, I may be going with my other mate for a ride, but we'll see. I'm not sure. It depends on the rain. So yeah, it's just too far away to know for sure at the moment. Whether anything like that's going to happen over the weekend. So yeah, but anyway, we'll leave it at that. That's all I got really coming up. There's nothing. I've got nothing. What's he doing? He's just come to have a rest. Probably got a bit hot in the sun. Same with this one. And yeah, but anyway, we'll leave it at that. Go and test my editing skills out by molding in videos, and we'll see you on the next one. Catch you later.